Australia is still committed to one China policy despite Donald Trump's remarks. Defense Industry Minister Christopher Pyne has contradicted U.S. President-elect Donald Trump on China, saying Australia had not changed its one China policy. The White House says the U.S. is committed to its long-standing policy that Taiwan is part of one China, but will not use Taiwan as leverage in any dealings with Beijing. Mr. Trump has offended fellow superpower China by saying he didn't necessarily think America should have to stick with its one China policy unless Beijing and Washington struck a new deal. The comment was significant, as most countries including Australia have for decades refused to acknowledge the autonomy of Taiwan for fear of offending Beijing. Speaking after a speech in London this morning, Mr. Pyne said Australia had a one China policy and we have not changed our view about that. President-elect Trump hasn't changed any policy setting with respect to the United States at this stage, and how he chooses to communicate his views to the Chinese government is really a matter for him, but the Australian government has not changed its policy in relation to one China, he said. Mr. Pyne also fended off criticism of the Joint Strike Fighter project by Mr. Trump, who took to social media to rail that the cost of the project was out of control and promised to save billions of dollars after he was inaugurated on January 20. The project is a massive plan by countries including Australia, the US, the UK, Canada and other allies to get a fleet of cutting-edge fighter jets to replace the existing warplane fleets, but the cost will come to more than $1 trillion US. We are very confident that the Joint Strike Fighter is the right jet for Australia and for the United States and the rest of the world, Mr. Pyne said. We are very committed to the program as a partner nation. We've just become the Asia-Pacific hub for the Joint Strike Fighter. Eventually there will be 3,000 Joint Strike Fighters operating in the world. It's the most potent weapon in the air, and we think it's the right choice for our country. In his speech to the policy exchange think tank, Mr. Pyne urged greater cooperation between Australia and UK defence specialists and industries. He spent the day touring the Rolls-Royce factory near London and on Wednesday will visit the shipyards of DCNS, the French company which secured the multi-billion contract to build Australia's fleet of 12 new submarines. Mr. Pyne could not say when Defence Minister Marise Payne, who has been sick for 3 weeks, would be back at work and whether she would attend important talks with Foreign Minister Julie Bishop in Japan this month. Senator Payne's lengthy absence as she battles a significant infection and recovers from surgery has heightened speculation about a possible reshuffle of the Turnbull cabinet. I spoke to the defense minister on Saturday. She's in very good spirits, she's recovering well, and as for her return to work and the trip to Japan, that's a matter I'd have to put to her office, Mr. Pyne said.